Hello everyone. Welcome to the Voices of Tezos India, and I am Sai Sandesh Mark. This show is brought to you by Tezos India Foundation. Tezos India has been dedicated to grow the Tezos community in India as well as promote the Tezos ecosystem in India by increasing its adoption. On this show, we're going to be discussing about the Indian projects which are built on the Tezos blockchain and also talk to the people who are building them and learn their stories. Today we have Mr. Om Malviya on the show. Om is the president of Tezos India Foundation as well as co-founder of Tezsure. He will be sharing with us his journey of how he got into the blockchain industry as well as tell us what Tezos India has been doing and what are its plans to increase the Tezos community in India. This is going to be a very interesting episode, so let's jump right in. Here is Om Malviya. Hi Om, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good as well. Welcome to the first episode of Voices of Tezos India.
Thanks. Looking forward to it.
I want to know your story. Please tell us your story and your journey till here. Like you started off in the space very soon, and now you're the president of Tezos India. And I'm sure the audience really want to know how your story started.
So I guess I got into blockchain in 2016, like full time. Before that, I was reading a little bit about Bitcoin, and didn't really put myself into it. Just read one or two articles. And then I really started diving deep into it from a more of technical standpoint, right? Because my background is in software engineering, and I wanted to know, how this blockchain works and uh, if there are more blockchains out there, right? So I started reading about Bitcoin, white paper, and then I got introduced to Ethereum, right? And then I started reading about all the bunch of things that were happening at that point of time. There was not a lot of knowledge available. Even if you would search what is blockchain, there were no articles. There was no content available at all at that point of time. This CoinDesk, Cointelegraph, they were also this kind of publications were really new. So looking at that problem, I started co-founded it's blockchain.com, which was basically just a blog where I used to dump whatever I was learning about blockchain, what is proof of work, what is proof of stake, what is Bitcoin, how things work behind the scenes in a blockchain, right? And that started picking up. And then I kept writing about all the projects that were coming, and then came 2017 ICO frenzy, and I was writing about all this bunch of projects that were coming up and doing my own due diligence, and also actively kind of trying to invest a little bit around that. That's when I got introduced to Tezos for the first time. I remember I read Tezos white paper, and there was a really good hype around Tezos that this is going to be, a really good project, and it's going to solve all the problems that we were facing at that point of time. And nobody was doing proof of stake at that point of time. Ethereum and Bitcoin people were like, "Oh, proof of stake is bad," and Tezos was the first one talking about it and actually implementing on the mainnet with having a prototype built. So yeah, that was the at that point of time I was introduced to Tezos for the first time. And then yeah, I kept building on its blockchain.com. At one point of time, we were hitting 2 million views a month. And then at some point of time, I wanted to do something else, and I handed over everything that team that was handling that and my co-founder, etc. Because I wanted to dive more deeper into the tech side of it. Now that I've understood how blockchain works, I wanted to build my own products, maybe write smart contracts, etc. And wanted to explore more what is happening around the world. So then I went to San Francisco in a program called Draper University, where I stayed for 1.5 months. I met a lot of people from different backgrounds and also saw what was happening in the Silicon Valley at that point of time, and got to learn a lot from Tim Draper. He's a huge Bitcoin believer, early adopter, and also a big investor in Tezos himself. So yeah, and then I found out I also met one of my co-founder who was also a Tezos fan, and I was also a Tezos fan. We started talking about it, and we thought, okay, we had a very sort of idea about doing insurance on blockchain. We thought, okay, let's build it on top of Tezos, right? And the mainnet had went live just at the time when we were in San Francisco, so it was pretty cool. And then we started writing bunch of stuff, doing bunch of stuff, that okay, we are building this product, and then got introduced to the community and the people who were also enthusiastic about Tezos, and that's how we got introduced to Tezos community. We're very welcoming, and we had a couple of calls with different fellows. Fast forward to today, G has Tezos India. I also have my other projects. It's called Tezsure, which builds plenty DeFi and non-wallet, etc. on top of Tezos. So I'm full Tezos right now. In that fast forward journey, what happened is I got introduced to people, and then in 2019 I saw this. There's going to be huge explosion of blockchain talent and crypto in India overall, and a lot of people were starting to learn how to write smart contracts on top of Ethereum. And that's when I started Tezos India. I went with an idea to Tezos Foundation and said, this is what we want to do here in India, and we want to be early to do that. And yeah, we were supported with some grants, and we started Tezos India, and through which we have trained, thousands of developers till now.
That's really nice. I want to ask you a very simple question. So you did mention why Tezos and why did you choose them? I want to ask you a simple question. Why should anybody else choose them?
Yeah, see, for people, who have seen that 2016, 2017, who were that early, there was also this debate going on around block size and Bitcoin. Bitcoin was forked, Bitcoin was forked into Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. Ethereum was also forked into Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. Now, majority of these new people, they are entering into this space. They don't know that what times we what that there was these kind of problems were legit, and they could also be faced by the blockchains of today anytime also, right? So I have a very strong um, feeling about that decentralization and proof of stake, and how a blockchain should be, in my opinion, right? For example, it's very important that anybody should be able to be part of a blockchain network, right? For example, if I want to run my validator, I should be able to do it easily. Let's say even on my laptop, it's a 25,000 or 30,000 Indian rupees laptop. I should be able to do that. That's the way to do decentralization, right? That's how, if you tomorrow, if I'm just a college student, I want to learn and want to run a validator, I can just run it, right? And then on-chain governance, there should be a proper way to govern your software, because in software industry, you build amazing software, all the decisions are made in a centralized way, and if you have iOS or Android, we say, okay, this new update is coming, then this is a centralized hierarchy decision making, right? But what we are doing here is we are building essentially a software which is decentralized, right? And but the blockchain essentially is software, and software needs to be upgraded, right? Otherwise, you can't stay ahead in the game. And there has to be a decentralized decision making the process, right? And there should be some formal set of rules around that. That how do you make that decision making, right? And then it should be enabled on chain, not in the closed door, in the off chain governance. Let's say if I want to upgrade Ethereum, I'll go and meet core protocol developers in a room and say, I mean, there is always an off chain element to it, but there should be a formal process to do that on chain, right? Where you have this entire voting process of in Tezos, like process of 3 months. It goes through several phases, and then it upgrades itself, within a block. So that's where I was also sold that on-chain governance is really necessary. And for people who think why it is necessary is because decision making is really slow. If you looked at the example of Bitcoin, Ethereum, if you want to upgrade to something, it takes months, years even, right, to upgrade it. And you don't want that. You want a software to be top notch, right? And then second thing is forks, right? So how Bitcoin and Ethereum upgrade itself is by something called hard fork, right? So you have soft fork, you have hard fork. Soft fork is even if you don't upgrade your node software. It is backward compatible. And hard fork is, let's say, if I'm bringing a major change, I want to upgrade. If I'm upgrading, I'm introducing a new consensus algorithm in Ethereum, then I'm going to force a fork. It's a hard fork to all the to all the miners who are running Ethereum nodes, right? That you have to upgrade your node software to this latest version. And if you don't do that, you will be part of a outdated or a different chain, right? So and now what happens is, there are multiple dynamics involved in, that's in the blockchain. You have got miners, you've got developers, you've got users. So you have to make sure that in interest of everybody are aligned, right? You have all discussions going on, and then everybody should be able to vote that, okay, is this really that we want or not, right? So what that's the beautiful thing about Tezos, and it sort of enables a digital commonwealth, right? And so initially, we used to talk about it, and people were like, nah, it wouldn't work. But if we look at Tezos right now, it has gone through 8 upgrades, and the last upgrade didn't happen, right? The Ithaca one, it changed it upgrade because a lot of people voted no. So it's sort of like this digital democracy to govern the Tezos software actually works, right? And it has upgraded itself several times to new address formats. It's currently upgrading itself to new consensus algorithm. It has done a lot of optimizations, and it's something, and it has also reduced the block time. So, and if you look at this, how fast all of these things have happened, it's truly phenomenal that to see a software upgrading itself, and that is really necessary. That should happen. And while in other blockchain, what happens, people have these arguments, oh, this blockchain that, this blockchain that, this blockchain that, right? But you have blockchain have to have some fundamental properties that that actually makes it a blockchain. In 2017, we used to say, oh, decentralized, distributed, everybody should be able to run a node, proof of stake, and this kind of things should be in a blockchain. But right now, sometimes today we see, oh, if there is a limited set of validators, that's also one thing. Like back then, EOS was also doing proof of stake, but then you only have 21 validators, right? You have a council of 21 people who are doing whatever you want. And you can actually also, what you could say, the thing about blockchain is immutability, right? You cannot reverse a transaction.
Do you believe that India is still in its nascent stage to adopt blockchain? Like, if so, where do you see the industry in the next 5 years in India?
India is in very nascent stage, even if you compare to other countries like Singapore, Switzerland, etc. And the proof is kind of, but they did announce something about taxations on this budget, right? So they are aware that people are trading in cryptos, they are making money, and they want tax on top of that. So there's that. So government has this stance that blockchain good, crypto bad, right? So I don't see that that has changed much. They are talking with industry people, trying to understand what exactly and how exactly the space works. What is right? So that is necessary. Government needs a lot of education. People need to do that. That this is how that it's not, oh, the crypto part of blockchain is not bad actually, and without crypto there is no blockchain, first of all, right?
Yeah.
That also needs to be understood. There is a very urgent need of a supportive stance from government side, so that the kind of adoption that we are seeing in India can be boosted further. And second thing is, we need very crypto friendly regulations so that users can be educated, right, about how should you navigate this space, right? In India, there are a lot of scams going on, some pyramid type of crypto scams or some different kind of scams. A lot of people are still buying kinds of Dogecoin, Shiba, etc., right? A big education campaign needs to be done for in India, because the adoption is growing increasingly, but all those people that have come to this space, I'm not sure if even 10% of them are, let's say, doing anything with cryptos. For example, trying to use DeFi, buying their domain names, or buying NFTs, or etc. Right. So that's one thing. What I look is and hope is within 5 years we'll see a big boost and big adoption will be driven by first thing NFT in India.
Mhm.
That's something that we are looking at. People are really into it. All the artistic communities, entertainment industries, and likes of this are entering into this space. For example, we are also working with our partner, one of them, who is a Bollywood production house. They are doing a movie with a legendary actor, and trying to do something sort of NFTs on top of Tezos for that. So that kind of stuff will bring a lot more education and adoption. And
Mhm.
the second thing is we are seeing this new we are seeing a lot of startups coming out of India. They're also raising a huge amount of capital, building great products, right? Even in the ecosystem itself, we got 15 to 20 plus projects from India. Within 5 years, I am seeing at least 100 plus projects coming out of India, building on top of Tezos. And that's only Tezos, right? So there will be legit thousands of startups, thousands of entrepreneurs building from India within 5 years, and building from India for the global space. And I think if that journey is supported by friendly regulations and clarity around all sort of crypto transactions and activities, I think that can put India ahead in this space, right?
Absolutely. And Tezos has not been quiet as well. Like, for a very long time, Tezos has put in a lot of efforts to increase the Tezos community itself in India. So can you tell the audience, like, what exactly are these efforts? Like, what all have Tezos India done to increase the Tezos community?
So in Tezos India, we started with a heavy focus on developers, that we need more developers, developers, developers. India has a lot of developers, right? And Tezos is a very mature ecosystem, developers wise. It has also all sort of developer tooling. Tooling is very mature on Tezos. You have a lot of engineering colleges, right? So initially our approach was, when we started Tezos India, we didn't have much of a plan that how it's whole thing we are going to work out. And then started slowly we increase our scope and domain, that this is what we want to do. So we went initially. We used to go to a lot of engineering colleges and give workshops. What is Tezos, and write out your first smart contract, right? So I think thousands of people till now, yeah, thousand. It could be more than a thousands of people. Thousand people must have written one smart contract on top of Tezos in SmartWire, right? So there we have done a lot of awareness, developer awareness around Tezos, and how we did that is, first of all, by being sponsoring a lot of hackathons, which is we call student run mini hackathons. Where you have a bounty of $200 $300 if you build something on top of Tezos. And this is sort of your playground. So what we have created for developers, a 3-step process, right? So what you do is, if you are a new developer, a very early developer, right, you can go and participate in any of our hackathon to sort of play around, build anything, like even a voting app or something. If it's something good, decent, you'll get $200 to $300, and you get some experience building on top of Tezos, right? Once you have done that, you can, after that, you can go to the big hackathons, right? Like these global hackathons, or we also do these India hackathon kinds of that. And you can go, and with your experience, you can build new ideas in those hackathons, right? And bigger prizes, right? And then if you have built something really good, we have a very active grant support, right? You can get a grant of $5,000 to $10,000 within a week, right? Within a week or 2 weeks, right? So that's the very fast window. And if you build something really great, which needs more capital, then we at Tezos India then assist you further to get grant from Tezos Foundation, right? We help you drafting an application. We have to find you an idea and understand all the angle. And then there's also active marketing support. So it's a overall like a package deal for developers, which you don't get to see in other ecosystem. You get everything from get go, mentorship, financial resources, grant support, marketing support, and then if you need any more brains to fine tune your idea and how to build your product around it, we also do that, right? So that is so bigger hackathon, you can get this kind of thing. Then other then we have third thing is third step. Then there is a Tejos India Fellowship, which is the most exclusive program, right? Like every year, I guess around 3,500 people applied. Only 40 get selected last year. That is very exclusive.
Wow.
And all of these 40 people then are, mentored in a way. There is a very curated program where you get a monthly stipend for 2 months of up to $2,000 to $3,000, and you work with us to pick ideas from a basket. You can come up with your own ideas, and if you don't have an idea, you have a passion to build in this space. We'll help you with ideas. We'll sit with you to build your product, build your project from starting to the end until it's ready to go on production level, like almost ready to go on mainnet. All the eligible projects gets grant, right? So we'll give you then up to $10,000 grant. You have to keep building for 2-3 months, and after that you're done. That we'll help you if you want to fundraise using a token, if you want to fundraise using further grant like 50,000 or $100,000, right? So that's how this entire process works. So for developers, what we want to do is first you come into this ecosystem in India, play around with it, participate in any small hackathon or something, then keep going step by step, step by step, and be part of these kind of things like big hackathons, Tezos India Fellowship. And once you've done that, this entire journey will take for any developer who is interested, I guess only 6 months, maximum 6 months, right? And within 6 months, you'll have your idea, you'll have your project ready, you'll have your grant, and you'll be an entrepreneur, you'll be building your own startup in this space, right? So that's what we want to enable for developers. Whoever wants to build any solutions around blockchain, we go and we help them. Okay, we have this knowledge center, we have this capacity in our team. We can help you find the right use case, and we can help you how to for example, if anybody wants to do an NFT, then we will help you, how to do an NFT drop in the right way that you can engage your fans or you can engage your audience, right? And we help you create that entire strategy. And we help you with the from the technical side, at how you can deploy your NFT, building your marketplace, anything that's required, right? And we will partner with you from step zero to the end, and we'll take you through the entire journey with an active support, right? So that's for organizations or startups or company or corporates or individuals who wants to
Yeah.
something like that. And it was event by Inc. 42. There's currently, Tezos India is also part of IAMAI, and we're supporting NFT India as of now, right? So that things also keeps going on from branding and marketing side in India, right? But it all happens in a very decentralized way. The goal of all the organizations like Tezos India globally, like in US, you have Tezos Commons, and Ukraine, you have Tezos Ukraine, and a bunch of different organizations established all around the world, which are all independent in their own way. So it's not like some central hierarchy working on top of it. The goal is to increase the Tezos brand, which is a decentralized brand, as much as possible, and make it your go-to blockchain for uh, any your blockchain needs, basically, right? And then Tezos does have a very nice value proposition, right? Where it's not hard for us to convince anyone that why you should build on top of Tezos, right? That's pretty cool thing.
There is so much that Tezos been doing for a very long time, and just when you explain, there is so much more that's going to be coming up. So I'm not joking when I say 2022 is going to be big, right? So what do you have plans for 2022? Like, where is this going to go? It's already in the blast off phase. Where is it going to go from here?
Yeah, I think a lot of big brands are gonna adopt Tezos. All they already have, but they are going to be more and more brands, right? Because the NFT value proposition of Tezos is really neat, and it does make sense because it consumes millions times less energy than Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's a very clean blockchain, proof of stake. Um, and yeah, it does make sense for big brands who also wants to be sort of aware about their energy consumption to uh, do their NFTs on top of Tezos, and everybody's going to do NFTs is going to be a thing because it provides a unique way for building your small creator economies or engaging your fans or audience, etc. Right? So there is this big community of artists on Tezos already, who are building some amazing kind of art and doing NFTs. Uh, which used to be Hiketnung, they're also rebranded. Now you've got object.com, you've got Bossum, so the NFT marketplace, they are pretty good. I think there's going to be more awareness this year that while you can go on Ethereum and buy your apes for 100 Ethereum, if you want real good art, you have to come to Tezos, right? So real collector goes to Tezos. So that's going to be a thing, I guess, this year. And other thing on blockchain wise, what I'm excited is tender break, the new consensus algorithm that's going to kick in. And in 2022, right now, the block time of Tezos is, I guess, 30 seconds. And we are going to see further reduction in that. And it could be up to, I guess, 7 to 10 seconds. So it's going to become, the entire blockchain is going to become very fast in 2022 overall, without compromising all the security and other aspects of it, right? Without any trade-offs. That's why. In India, if I talk about, I'm looking at, at least 30 plus projects building on top of Tezos, more big brand activations in India also. Yeah, so some big brands of India. Usually it's tricky to convince big brands due to regulatory issues, but I think we are going to convince some people this year. Right. That, okay, let's just try this. We don't have to worry about regulations. We'll help you.
Yeah, I know. We spoke about clean NFT, we spoke about artists, and you spoke about how NFT could be the next big movement of everything. Could you please explain to the audience what exactly do you mean by a clean NFT, and why is it important, and why is that creating on Tezos better?
As I mentioned, Tezos is, so first thing to be put out there is, which is a lot of people who are new to the space don't know, is Tezos is the one who pioneered proof of stake, right? So back then there was not working decentralized proof of stake model out there. That's when, Tezos has a prototype ready, and they also went and maintained in 2018, right? Now, proof of stake fundamentally as consumes way less energy than Bitcoin, right? So they just pioneered this entire model. It is proof of stake since day one, without any kind of let's say centralized validator set model, right? So in Tezos, can have any say, the validator set is not limited. Anybody can become a validator. Baker, we call it in Tezos. So proof of stake fundamentally consumes less energy than Bitcoin, Ethereum. And if I talk about Tezos, I don't have the exact number, but it does consume million times less energy than Bitcoin, Ethereum, right? So why that matters is so that if you are minting an NFT in a way that it consumes even less energy than, for example, writing a tweet, that's your clean NFT in a nutshell, right?
Finally, I just want to ask you a small question. If there are some blockchain enthusiasts who are watching this right now, who are listening to this, who would want to probably venture into Web3 right now, what would be your advice to them? How do they start off?
For students, developers, and professors, I would say all the professor, you can, just write an email to hello@teosindia.foundation, and we'll get in touch with you and get on a call. But anybody can do that. Any student or developer will be pretty active. But for developers who are people who are in their first year, so in 11th or 12th standard, anybody who wants to do coding, just a little bit coding, you should go and be part of any hackathon where Tezos is a sponsor. Try out Tezos track, build something, anything as simple as a wallet, as simple as buying Apple or your lemonade shop or anything like that. Get some experience around it, and you might be eligible for a bounty. You can get some small prize money, and then you can keep learning more and more, and you can go participate in our global hackathons, which usually have big prizes like $30,000, $50,000, right? You can participate in those, or and you can do that. And even if you don't win a prize, that's fine. You can learn a good experience, and if you're then you can also apply for Tezos India Fellowship, where you can get curated mentorship. We can help you find an idea, and we can really take you to a level where you will be ready to launch your own startup, right? We'll help you with all sort of things, and you'll also have a active grant support and any kind of technical support that is required from our side, right? So that's for developers. For professors, we are actively also participating and partnering with universities to establish our student chapters to create sort of a Tezos community in all these different universities. So, and we will also be very happy to do that. We'll have, as I said, in those kind of program, I also will have an active grant support where students who want to form a club or community in their universities can do that. They can organize workshops, um, create awareness in their campus about Tezos, teach everybody else how to develop on top of Tezos, organize hackathons and do different kind of activities, and we'll support all of that, right? From any kind of support, be it technical or financial again. So that thing for professors. For organization or startups, what's unique, what we do is, if you want anything to do with blockchain, anything with blockchain, not only even Tezos, I'm saying, if you want to do anything with blockchain, you want to do NFT, you want to integrate any identity solution, you want to let's say integrate Tezos in your exchange, or you want to integrate the Tezos smart contracts for any means, right? We'll be happy to help everybody out. We'll sit with you. We'll sit with you, brainstorm about your idea, brainstorm about your project with our team, with our other partners like TZFIG in Singapore, and we'll also give you insights that okay, maybe we we should change this, we should change this, and this will make this would really make sense. And then we'll also, apart from that, from all the technical support, from all the brainstorming and all the analytical decision making support, will help you with grant as well, right? For startups and organization for whom the capital requirement is a bit bigger than normal developers, for example $50,000 or $100,000 and something like that. Will help you to make your case and help you to design your solution in a way that it can have the most amount of impact, and then assist you in this entire grant approval process. That's kind of an overall sort of life cycle services or assistance that we provide at Tezos India, and that's how we want to enable a very thriving ecosystem here.
Wow, that makes sense. It's very exciting to know what Tezos has been doing and what Tezos has been done so far. So thank you so much, Om, for joining in and sharing your thoughts and making it pretty much very clear for a lot of people why they should choose Tezos. I'm not promoting, but why they should really choose Tezos over anything.
No,
So thank you so much. It was great speaking with you. Would you like to add anything in the end?
no, yeah. So I really love the experience, and I enjoyed talking with you, man. Yeah, thanks for having me. And yeah, we'll see how 2022 goes and all what other more exciting and big things are in order to come in 2022 for Tezos, right? So we can end on that note.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye.